So we're going to try to understand how these equations. What is it? What do people mean when they write y equals mx plus c? So let me just write this down here. Y equals. I'm actually going to write m and x in a different color. So I'm just going to write x plus, and then I'm going to write m and c in a different color. Let's write m in green, and then we'll write C in blue. Okay. And then I'm going to show you what it means when we say y equals mx. What does all this mean? Well, basically, we had an equation like y is equal to 3x plus 2, then in that case, the m is the 3 and the c is 2. Okay? So let's try another one. Y is equal to 5x plus 4. So now what's m and what's c? Okay, so I've highlighted the m's and the c's, and yeah, so the m is 3 in the top one, and it's 5 in the second one. The c is 2 in the top one and 4 in the second one. Now, how does this? How do we notice this in the actual graph? Well, let's look at this one first. Y equals 3x plus 2. Notice the 2 is where it crosses the y-axis. And if you think about it, that would make sense because if I were to, because when it crosses the y-axis, that's when x is equal to 0. So if we rewrite this equation, y is equal to 3 times x, well, x is 0 at that point, so it'd just be 0 plus and then 2. So y would equal to 2. So when x is 0, then y is 2, and that's why you're always going to have this value here for where it crosses the y-axis. That's the c value. Okay, so the c is always the y-intercept. Okay, the place where it crosses the y-axis. Now, what about the m then? The three there. Well, the 3 is what we call the gradient. Okay, so gradient. So what's the gradient mean? Well, basically, it means how steep the slope is. So if it's the higher the number, the steeper the line is. So, and we can measure it by, we can basically imagine going across there. Now that goes from -2 to 2. So the change in, we can do a triangle to show change in. The change in x is equal to 2. And if we go all the way up here, it went from -4 to 2. So we can see it's 2, 4, 6. The change in y is equal to 6. Now the gradient, m, can be calculated by the change in y over the change in x, which is equal to 6 over 2, which is 3. So m is the gradient, and c is the y-intercept, and you can calculate them that way. All right. I'm just going to stop that video there. Then I'll show you the next thing we can do. We'll make it a bit harder in a moment.